What's up, everybody? Welcome to Trek Epidemic. Today, we're talking Lower Decks once again. This is episode 9. It's called Crisis Point. We are finally getting to the end of this series. We've only got a couple more episodes left. And I heard you like this episode a lot.
This episode was pretty good.
I did think this one was pretty fun. It did seem like a little... It is a holodeck episode, and like I've said before on the show, holodeck really leaves... a lot of space for the show to be funny, I think, because you can do whatever you want in the holodeck, and you should be able to do whatever you want anyway, because it is just a simple animated show. But the holodeck, to me, are the best episodes always anyway.
Agreed. I always like a good holodeck episode, and yeah, I don't know. I think that it being animated just lets them take it to that next level.
Yeah, absolutely. And in this one, I believe Boimler is like trying to he's trying to prepare for an interview or something, and he's got like a realistic version of the
Bridge crew.
Bridge crew, yeah, exactly. And he's like trying to do interactions with them, and then Mariner is immediately like, let's make this into like a fun movie thing.
Yeah, because Mariner's mom sends her to counseling, and so she wants revenge, and so she decides to go to therapy via a fun movie thing.
Yeah, where she murders her mom.
Yeah, that's the entire goal of the fun movie therapy adventure is for her to kill her own mom.
That's a lot of fun to kill your own mom, I suppose. I wonder
in like hyper realism too.
I wonder what sick fuck wrote this episode and what issues they're dealing with.
It's a good question, actually.
But this is the episode where they parody essentially the first Star Trek the Motion Picture.
I feel like it's many of the movies. Like I feel like most of the movies start in this set way, and then
it does parody many of the movies, but specifically in the motion picture when they first see the Enterprise, and it takes like 14 minutes for them to get to the thing because they're just panning across the the ship so much.
At the beginning of the movie, the bridge crew's always on like vacation, and they're always doing something weird or fun or wacky or whatever. In this case, it was jet skiing.
Yeah, it was. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, wait, wasn't that in the movie though?
Was that in the movie? I thought that. What was it that they did? I don't remember. I just think back to the rock climbing scene from 5.
Right.
That's the same sort of nonsense.
Yeah, that's the same sort of vibes. That's for sure. So this one, I believe they're in the movie, the cinematic. It's so cinematic. Everything about this episode is very cinematic. Like just even the ships like turning around is cinematic in this.
There's so many like lens flares, and they've got like the cinema bars, the black bars on the top and bottom. It's definitely supposed to it's supposed to feel like the production value is so much higher because that's what all the movies are like. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course. So they're essentially the bridge crew in the movie. The simulated bridge crew is sent out on this mission. Boimler points out that if this mission would actually go to the Enterprise in real life, which is kind of funny. They say that a lot in this show. But then essentially, soon after they begin their mission, the ship is attacked by these raiders who are actually Mariner, Tendi, Rutherford, and Boimler's actually on the bridge crew's team because he wanted to, so they have like fake Boimler.
Yeah, that's actually probably made me laugh the hardest out of any joke in this entire series was when Shimple shows up. He's like, "I'm Shimple. I'm supposed to be played by Boimler."
And then he brings her coffee instead of tea, and she murders him in like the first 5 seconds of him being on screen.
And then the bridge crew, they're watching through the fucking viewport, and they're like, "Oh, poor Shimple."
Well, they're like, "You didn't need to murder that Shimple, you're evil." And it's just like poking fun at how you always see that one scene where it's like, this villain's irredeemable in the movies or whatever.
Yeah, he's a poor Shimple. Man. He's just a poor Shimple.
Yeah. And then, so Tendi's main thing in this one is that she doesn't like the fact that Mariner is talking about her being a pirate because it's racist. Rutherford's thing is he really wants to talk to his boss and tell him how he really feels about him because he can't do it in real life. And Mariner's just trying to get closure. And the whole time, Boimler is trying to figure out what the bridge crew likes so he can do well on his interview.
Right, yeah. So he's like giving them like chocolate cookies and stuff and like gauging their reaction and like saying wild shit to see how they react to it.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. There's a the relationship between Rutherford and the engineer, the chief engineer, is so funny as they like fall in love. It's like their mutual love of repairing ships is like ridiculous and kind of tender and sweet, actually.
Yeah, and it just progresses over the course of the episode.
Yeah, there's a part where they're fighting the bridge. They land on the ship and then they're fighting the bridge crew. And she has like a Borg head that she throws at Lieutenant Jax, and it like fucking explodes him into guts, and that's a lot of fun to see that.
Yeah, they definitely went like all like that's the other thing is they definitely go all out with I guess like violence and stuff in the holodeck because they can just do whatever, right? So
Yeah,
they're
but
just fucking killing people and blowing people up and disintegrating people left and right.
if we remember the classic Badgie holodeck episode, he was really murdering a lot of people, and I think in that episode we were like, "Holy shit, he's really just killing a lot of people."
For no reason too.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, now I'm thinking back at Badgie because he's such a beautiful character. Um, when she gets sent to therapy in this episode, the therapist is like a Grinch guy, and it's kind of weird that like so much Grinchification is happening right now. Did you notice that?
I don't know what you mean in the context of so much.
So much Grinchification. You didn't see that Kylie Jenner's new clothing line is Kylie X Grinch.
There's no way that they've got fucking Dr. Seuss's like family's permission for that shit, is there?
I don't know. I think it's like tie-in with the movie that came out 2 years ago or something.
2 years ago? What? There was a Grinch movie that came out 2 years ago?
Yeah, like a Universal animated one. It looks like
Jesus
the Lorax.
Christ.
It's like the same animation as the Lorax movie.
Oh, I did not see that
I
one.
don't think I saw it either, but maybe I did. I see a lot of movies, so it's hard to say. But the Grinchification of the universe is like it's really toning in this year. I think because of the whole global pandemic where we're not allowed to leave our houses.
So you think that what just like makes people relate to the Grinch on like a spiritual level or something?
Yeah, maybe.
And then they're just trying to cash in on that.
Do you remember when that Grinch movie came out and Kobe wore the Grinch Nike or the Grinch Nikes in a basketball game? I suppose you wouldn't, but
No, I definitely don't. But I remember when the Grinch movie came out, I was with you for the first half.
yeah, that's a lot of fun. So, yeah, I noticed because this is an episode that's going to be airing near Christmas here, so I just wanted to mention some Grinch stuff because the Grinchification happening it's really in deep right now, I think.
Fair enough. Topical.
And now this is a very special episode because it is episode 9 of 10, and we find out some very delicate information as Boimler goes back into the thing at the end, and he finds out that Mariner is in fact the captain's daughter.
I'm not gonna lie to you. At this point, I thought everyone knew that. Like, I forgot that was a secret from the other characters.
Seems like it shouldn't be a secret anymore because we, the audience, know it so well.
Well, and it just like gets brought up a lot. So I'm like, everyone else must have been, some other characters must have been in those scenes where they're talking about it because it's talked about relatively frequently. But I guess that was never the case. And so yeah, Boimler's the first one to find out she's her daughter. Also, near the end of the movie, Mariner is also in the holodeck.
Right.
Like there's a holodeck clone Mariner, and they fight to the death. And real Mariner kills herself. And like actually experiences psychological growth via murdering herself, and then fake Mariner destructs the ship in like a really cool Spock self-sacrifice type dealy ending to the movie.
Yeah, and this is like we've talked about this through almost every episode that Mariner has no character development at all, where there's not even an inkling of her like trying to improve on herself, and this is the sole episode where herself convinces her that she actually does like Starfleet, she actually does like working, she's just scared of commitment or something.
Yeah, and she also likes the warp core. That's the other thing.
She does like the warp core, and she has now admitted that. And I don't know what that's about. I guess that's in one of these movies, or it's one of these episodes.
I think it's in like the first episode. Boimler really likes the warp core, and she calls him lame for it.
I see. Yep, that checks out to me. I think this one is actually pretty good. It does have like a fun the movie parody is like a cool thing because none of the shows have ever really commented on how crazy the movies are in comparison to just like a regular episode, you know?
Yeah, I thought the parody of the movies was done really well. Like that was something that I think the show has probably done the best this season so far. That joke was consistent and really good throughout the episode.
Because we've certainly talked about this on the show when we watch the movies of how different they are feeling from the TV show and how like extravagant they are for no real reason.
Yeah, and it just definitely stands out compared to the average episode. So it was fun that they played around with that a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. What do you rate this one?
I'd probably give this a 3.5 or a 4 even. It's pretty good in my opinion.
That's a pretty good rating for this one. I'd definitely give this one. I think I'd give this one a 4. I actually like this one quite a bit. I thought it was
cool.
I thought it was a fun one, and it actually had some good jokes in it, which is like kind of rare for this show, I find. So yeah, I was into this one. At the end, Boimler has that interview that he was preparing for the entire time, and is overcome by fear that he knows Mariner's true identity, to the point where when the captain is interviewing him, he's just like, Mariner is hot, but also nasty.
And then he just screams and like runs out of the room.
Yeah, classic Boimler. Our little friend Boimler. Just doing Boimler stuff. All right. I think that's probably it for this episode. If you guys saw this episode or want to talk about it, go ahead and press that down in the comments below. Give us a like and subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on the social medias at Movie Epidemic on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We will see you guys next week for some more Trek.
Why don't you play us something, baby? Why don't you play us something, baby?
Start? I don't feel so good.